Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mid-City Beat Live, and welcome, Juanita Stein.
Hi, Stephanie. It's so great to see you. Thank you very much for inviting me to be with you today.
Thank you. Yes, I'm excited to have you here from your bookstore, Between the Lines. I know I've been hearing about this bookstore for a while now. Well, you'll tell us when you opened, but I know since February, January, I was hearing ideas of the new store, and I know a lot of people were excited about it, uh, and then you open. So tell us a little bit about your bookstore. Tell us about where it is and what's going on with Between the Lines.
Thank you. Well, this has been a dream of mine for more than 7 years. And in fact, this exact location, which is at the corner of 53 and 62, just behind Santa Lucia, I'm in a building that has 4 other little businesses as well, a beautiful cafe, Volta Cafe, and Básica Sociedad, which is a nonprofit project of Josefina Larraín with home decor things. And there's Miel Nativa, which you know about because you've done a story on Miel Nativa with the
Right.
and Umba hammocks. So we're a really nice little plaza here. And finally, everything fell into place last summer, and they finished the renovation, Josefina and Salvador, and they invited me to take the corner space, which is where I'm at. So I have my own entry as well as an entry into the cafe. So I just couldn't be happier. It's
right. Yeah, it's a perfect location, and you're surrounded by great little local businesses.
Yes.
And you have Volta right next door. You can go get some of the great coffee in town.
Exactly. And so my idea was always that people love to read. I grew up reading, and so I wanted to try to inspire people to return to the tradition of holding a book in their hands and remember what that felt like, and to put pen to paper. And so Between the Lines is more than a bookstore. I do have fabulous books, all in English, for everybody. There's something for everyone, fiction and nonfiction and coffee table books and cookbooks and everything. Books for kids, which is really important. But also I have incredible stationery, greeting cards and gift wrap and things for your desk and pens, and it's reading glasses and reading sunglasses as well. So it is more than a bookstore, and everything, every detail, every object that is in the shop is focused on that same vision of a traditional way of doing things.
Right, which I think is really valid. I mean, I know for me, I'm on the computer so much, and I'm on my phone so much with all the things that I do for the publication.
Yes.
And sometimes at night, I just want to lay down and not look at a screen and read.
Yes.
It is really nice. And then there are some good bookstores in town, but not an English bookstore.
No, and that's the whole thing, Steph, is the niche of fulfilling the niche of English language bookstore. And I'm not carrying books in Spanish for a couple of reasons. I don't have the knowledge, really in-depth knowledge about writers from Spain or Mexico or Latin America.
Sure.
And also I don't have the space. But most importantly is I feel that the other bookstores in town have fulfilled that niche very nicely. And there's no point in competing with that. Why just do something that everybody else is doing? So this is a little magical haven where you can come and browse and sit in the reading chair by the window and find something that you weren't expecting, because everything is curated. I've spent hours and hours and hours choosing every single thing that's in the shop. And so that makes it really, really rewarding for people. They love that feeling of being able to browse. And the interior space is something that makes all of that come to life. My wonderful husband, Jan, helped me with things like this fabulous lighting.
Ooh, yeah, you're gonna have to give us a little virtual tour here if you can. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's really nice.
And the glasses display with familiar faces.
Oh, those are glasses.
Yeah. And but every square inch has beauty and function, and it's although the color scheme at first I wasn't sure about it. The walls are gray and red, as you can see.
Right.
But once Jan got all the shelving in place for me, and I put the books on the shelves, everything just came to life.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, you can see it's just...
Yeah, bookstores are absolutely magical.
Yes.
They really are. I mean, so many ideas. I remember a friend of mine used to say, "Oh my gosh, I go into a bookstore and it's just like, it's magical, but it's also kind of sad at the same time because you're not going to be able to read everything on the shelves, and there's all this, it's somebody's passion and life work in every single book."
The most common comment I hear is, "Oh, I want everything."
Right. I bet.
That's what people say.
That's great. And and I was going to comment too. I mean, I think that just going back to it being an English bookstore, that's a great niche, and not only for the native English speakers, but also for the native Spanish speakers, because there's a lot of people in town who either want to practice their English or are fluent also in English. Exactly. And I think it would be it's a great resource for them.
Exactly. And that kind of brings me to comment on who's the typical customer between the lines.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my plan was the typical customer would include a lot of tourists. Well, at the moment, believe it or not, I do have tourists. A woman from South Africa came in today.
Oh wow!
And she lives in New York, and she's here on vacation. She is actually probably the only tourist in Merida. No, that's not true. I am getting one or two tourists every day. But the expats who live here are by far my most important customer, and I'm so grateful to them because they have just been incredible in terms of supporting the business. But also Yucatecans who read, especially young Yucatecans who read in English, young Mexicans who read in English. And people who want cool things for their kids, even if the parents are not fluent in English. I have so many beautiful books for children from young babies right up through young adults. And so your kid is going to school and learning English, and so there's books and activities for them as well. So that's really fun. And then things that are not language based, like all the desk accessories and the reading glasses and the pens and all of those things that doesn't matter what language you speak, they're beautiful.
Right, and it's always kind of like the fun little extras when you go to a bookstore.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you say you do have a space where you can sit down and read read for a little while. You can kind of hang out.
Yeah. There's a little reading corner. I'm not going to try to move the computer to show you because it's on the other side of the room.
Oh, right.
And
once things settle down, exactly. Once things settle down, I'll go in there with my stories and I'll put it in the CityBeat stories.
Perfect.
So let's take a quick second to say hello to people that are here. There's some people that are chiming in on the chat. There's Luis is here, Kinney. She's from Canada. She's up in Canada. And Pat Stodd. He says, do you carry the new Leah Thelmadater book about Mexican embroidery?
No, I don't. But tell him to send me a message, and I will put it on my list.
Okay, I'm going to tell him right now, Pat. If you're still here, send Juanita a message, and I'll put that in the chat.
Perfect.
And let's see, Viola is here. Hi, Viola. She says, love to hear you, Juanita. Viola Hernandez, and Patricia, Robert, Jay, Guille. So thanks, you guys. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in. And, of course, if you have a specific question for Juanita, just write it here because I can see the comments.
Right.
So Juanita, how has COVID affected business? I know you barely opened up, or how long were you open before COVID kind of?
I left Yucatan today in October, and so the next 6 months was doing all the planning and the ordering and getting everything ready, receiving all the shipments, getting my customs broker set up, and all of that. So I opened on March the 4th. And I closed on the 20th. So
literally like 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. Just a couple weeks. But I have to say a couple things, and they're both positive. Number one, unlike all the indie bookstores in the US and Canada and all around the world who had a past and they had to change from that reality to this reality,
right?
Or all of our friends, the people we know here in Merida who have restaurants and galleries and hair salons, and they also had a before and then a new reality. I didn't. So really the only adjustment I had to make, it was my first year in business, so you don't expect to make a lot of money your first year in business anyway. The only adjustment I had to make was, okay, I'm not going to be physically there to receive walk-in traffic. I'm not going to be physically there to receive the tourists, and there aren't going to be any tourists for a while. So I need to substitute that revenue with selling online. I didn't have a catalog of my products, so I spent the first month, the month of April, I was at home frantically working all day to get all my products up on my website. And then social media team, Honey Marketing, who I don't know how I could be doing this without them. They're just incredible. They made all the noise about that, and people started ordering for me. I did the deliveries myself, so I just hopped in my car and with my mask and
brought over the book.
Exactly, delivered the books,
which has probably been a really important part of the quarantine.
Exactly.
People are picking up their old books again.
They need to read. They need to read. They're starving for books. I've reordered books almost every month since the quarantine started.
Wow.
So I'm actually investing in products and merchandise.
Right.
And I also have to say that, any bookseller's dream or any small business dream is that people look for you and you become a destination, and that is already happening. I'm beyond grateful for the support that the locals here have given me, and their belief in shopping local. And
yes,
if they have a choice, even if it means they have to wait and tell me they want a specific book, if I have access to it, they'll wait a month until it arrives. Maybe they could have gotten it a little bit less expensive if they ordered it on Amazon, but they want to support a local business.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think really part of Mid-City, that's what I do a lot is try to get support for local businesses. That's what I like to do. And I think I've really seen that people are making the extra effort to support local when they might be able to get it, like you said, a little cheaper here at the Walmart or whatever. Yeah. They're saying, no, I'm gonna buy it from local.
Yes.
Which has been really a beautiful community effort, I think.
Yeah, and we all have to reinvent ourselves. You've done interviews with other local business people since COVID started, and I think the common theme is, okay, so things aren't going according to plan. How can I adjust? How can I do it differently? And of course, I've done lots of research on what are the other independent bookstores doing, the ones that really are suffering because they had a reality before that they had to change.
Sure.
The ones that are surviving are the ones that jumped into a strong online presence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to say a thank you also to Yucatan today, because my family there, after 11 years, they continue to take good care of me. We're watching each other's backs, and they're also playing a part. Everybody in my community is playing a part.
Right. Yeah. Yucatan today is doing a really great job too, and I'm telling people stories.
Yeah, it's affected them big time too, because they're not printing. They're not printing them. the magazine every month as they did for more than 32 years.
Right. They've had to be creative as well.
Yeah, and
like everybody.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is in your near future here for the bookstore? Do you have any plans? What's going on?
Yes, I have one cool thing I want to announce because it's pretty cool. UNAM, the Mexican University
UNAM.
Has a monthly cultural magazine, a print magazine. It's a small, it's physically small, like it's not a 8.5 by 11. It's one size smaller. And they, up until now, their only distribution point in Merida was Sanborns. Well, you know what I'm about to say. They contacted me, a mutual friend between the university and he contacted me to see if I want to carry the magazine. And
if they want to, what? Say that again.
Carry the magazine in between the lines. So starting in September, I will have UNAM's magazine on sale.
Oh, that's great. And anybody who doesn't know UNAM, they are the most prestigious university in Mexico and really all over Latin America, including Spain. I mean, they have some of the most brilliant professors. They're a very well respected university worldwide.
And the magazine
really
is
cool.
Stunning. The magazine is stunning. It's very avant-garde, very, very beautiful. It's in Spanish, so it will literally be the only thing I have in the store that is in Spanish. But what I'm excited about is that's going to bring the Mexican, the Yucatecan and the Mexican into my shop to pick up the magazine, and then they'll be able to discover Volta Cafe and the other shops that are here. And they'll see what I have. And it's going to open up a new market for all of us here in the little plaza, which, by the way, the name of our little plaza is Carmon.
Is what?
Carmon.
Carmon. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's exciting. And it is, it makes me excited to want to go down and check it out for sure.
Yeah.
Go and check it out and have a coffee and then go look at the books and just the smell of a bookstore. One of my favorites. One of my favorites.
I think it's very good for the soul, especially at this time. I think, Stephanie, people need that feeling of escape and reading a book, having the book in their hands. It's something universal, and I think, just to finish answering your question about my future, is just to keep doing what I'm doing. I won't stop selling online. That will always be a part of my project because it's worked out so well.
Sure. Yeah.
Keep the word out there so that those people who think of Between the Lines as a destination will keep doing so, and keep coming in here to get that fulfillment of their soul.
Yes, absolutely. A bookstore is such an important part of the community, and it's so grounding. When you go into a bookstore, you just feel like you can breathe, relax.
Yes. So I'm so grateful to the community for hanging in there with me, because we're here for the long term. I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us about your hours of how people can.
How does that work? Okay, so Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I'm here full time. And if you want to come in on your, I should just say, during those hours, up to 2 people are allowed in the shop at a time. So that works out pretty well because, people don't come all at once. And so I haven't had any problems with that. But for anyone who wants to really be on their own and be guaranteed to be on their own, they can book an appointment just before 10, like at 9 in the morning, before I open, or right at 3 when I close the doors. You can come in if you book the appointment in advance and have the shop to yourself for a half an hour.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea too. And of course, you're following all the protocol. What are the protocols that?
Yeah, you have to wear a mask, obviously. That's 100% obligatory for both of us. I have the sanitizing gel and You know, everybody's keeping a distance from each other. Everything is cleaned in the shop after you leave, before and after. So it's very safe. It doesn't feel unsafe in any way. I think it's a really good situation. Also, if you're not going out, you can order from my catalogs, and you can find the catalogs on my website, which is betweenthelines.com.mx. There's hyperlinks in there, so just check it out on my social media, on my Facebook page. You'll find the link to my website.
Sure, and I'll put it here in the write-up where this video will be, because this video will stay on the main feed, so anybody can go check it out again. And I'll put the information. I'll put the website and the Facebook and the hours and all the information.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well, any last thoughts, Juanita?
No, I think that's all. We've covered everything I wanted to say. I'm just super grateful to you, Stephanie, for this opportunity, and a big thank you to the people, not only who are shopping with me, but who are spreading the word and telling their friends about it, and giving me lots of support and thumbs up and love.
Yes. And thanks to everybody for chiming in. Let's just real quick before we go, let's answer just one or two more questions, because I think a couple of people chimed in. It says, where is the bookstore? Can you tell us the cross streets again?
Yeah, it's the corner of 62 and 53 in Centro.
Right. Heart of the Centro.
Yeah, exactly.
Great location.
Yes.
And then one question from Doris Uber. Will you have the new great book from William Freg Toberg Mahler about Mayan ruins?
I will. And I'm just, it won't be out until October, but I've been in touch with the publisher already, and they're going to provide me with the book. So tell Doris to send me a message so I can set aside a copy for her. That's how that works. It's a pre-order, or it's not a pre-order. I'm going to have the books in the shop, because, and they also carry other books on the Maya civilization, and so I'm going to. I would think that's one of the areas I want to fill up a little bit more. Is more books about Yucatan and the Maya.
Right. Well, great. Well, all right, Juanita. Then I will let you go. Get back to your books, and I will be visiting you soon as I get down there.
Thank you.
And have a great night. Thanks everybody for chiming in.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.